Check Game Podcast.
Good episode of Check Game.
Episode of Check Game Podcast.
So welcome back to Check Game.
All right, so welcome back to Check Game Podcast.
All right, welcome back to Check Game.
Welcome back to Check Game.
Yo, welcome back to Check Game.
Welcome back to Check Game.
Hey, yo, welcome back to Check Game, man. I'm here with your boy, Alvin Williams.
Got an opportunity to share a game. You know, it's called Check Game.
Welcome back to Check Game, man. I'm here with your boy, Alvin Williams.
I'm here with Fats. What's up, cuz?
What's up, blood? And today we got a special guest, man. We got our boy. He played ball at Cardinal Doherty, then went to MCI in Maine, and then went to the University of Rhode Island. Got drafted number 41st pick overall by the Houston Rockets. The left-handed bandit, second best left-handed guard in the NBA next to James Harden. Nonetheless, let's welcome our man, Cuttino Mobley, man.
My guys, what's up, baby? I give you that couple dollars for saying that after this.
What's up, y'all? What's up, Tino?
Listen, I'm loving what y'all doing, man. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to get home. I stayed on my bumper. Like, you know what? Listen, you ain't coming home no time soon. Just do it virtually, dog. But I was trying to get home.
That comes from all the years of us knowing each other. And I
Yeah.
knew you break your neck to try to do something and things happen. You're a busy man, but you know,
Man, you know,
appreciate
volleyball.
you getting time.
Yeah, you know, my daughter got volleyball. My son think he a basketball player, so I gotta, help them when it's delusional dreams they got.
Hey, you're supposed to be delusional, dog. Because there's too many people out here telling you what you can't do and what you're not
Yeah.
gonna be and all that. So you're
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
be delusional for facts.
Hey, yo. So let's jump into it, Cat. You a North Philly guy, is that right?
Oh, facts.
I just wanted to clear that up. You know what I mean? Make sure this is a North Philly guy. And what was that like getting out of North? You getting to Cardinal Doherty and changing your geographical, like getting out of that hood and getting into that higher level school. What was that like for you, man?
You know, I was thinking about this morning. Shout out to my cousin Kamal Yard.
Mhm.
He calls me every morning early as shit. Well, early my time, where I'm waking up at 5:45, 6 o'clock every morning anyway. But he'll call me wanting a whole blown conversation around that time, where that's my time to kind of focus. Because y'all know me, I'm ADHD since I was younger. So that's my time to meditate. I'm grown now, with the grades. So we was talking about a lot of us, because I guess it's the Catholic League championship or whatever. So he was like, remember you was in that? And shout out to my stepfather, Benny. He knew who I was before I became who I was. I remember that morning before that game, he was an amazing cook. Cooked me pancakes, all my favorite meals, made sure it was quiet. And I didn't know back then how to get the mind right before a game, but he knew, and he was my oracle. But I was blessed. To answer your question, I was blessed to have the Alvin Williams seniors of the world. I was blessed to have my dad, who's in the other room right now, Big Tino's of the world, and my stepfather, and just men like that growing up for me. And then Al pulling me along like, yo, you skilled, you talented, dog. Don't get stupid. You know what I'm saying? So just having older cats, Alvin Williams Sr. and my stepfather, my dad, I think that's what helped me, pivot into a way where it's like you got to stay focused, even though I was a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
A little. A little. See, this ain't even right because I know so much. And, I watch you over the years.
No, say
man.
it.
I
Say
see
it.
a lot of interviews you've done. I'm going to say it, but it's interesting, man. And I hit you yesterday and said, yo, Cat, what you want to talk about? We got so much to talk about, not a lot of time. And it's like, what
Right.
you want to address, what we want to talk about, since we met each other since we was about 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And it was that time of our lives where we was trying to really push it and figure it out. But I'm going to take credit. I'm going to take all the credit for your success. I hear you giving a lot of shout outs to Barclays and Olajuwon and Pippen and, you know what I mean? All like Jordan, like a lot of people you mentioned. But I'm going to take all the credit. Because you know why, Fats? I just started driving, right? And this is when he's living off the boulevard.
Okay.
Off of Loudon. What's that? Loudon Street?
Yeah, Loudon Street.
London,
Yeah.
London, whatever.
Loud-
I pick it. We going out one night. I don't know. We probably about to go to the gym. So I pull up, honk the horn outside the house. He coming, gets in now. What's up, fam? Cat was one of the first pieces on. What's up, fam? What's up, fam? Did this. Good. Where we out? Hold up. He looked. Look out the window. Oh no, fuck that. He jumps out the car, dog, and start chasing this dude, dog. Ball break off. Wow. In and out of cars. Oh yeah, yo. He had Cat on the goose chase. Cat, he's shaking. Boom, boom, boom. I'm looking out the window. I'm like, what's going on? Cat chasing, he come back in. Yeah, man. Boy, owe me some money, man. He said, oh, we ain't got no money. I ain't know Cat was in the streets, dog. I ain't know Cat was moving a little bit of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I mean, statute of limitations is out. So we driving. I said, hey, yo, dig this. You might want to concentrate on basketball because that thing don't look good for you, dog. You couldn't catch the smoker. You couldn't catch the smoker running up and down. So no, but that's one of the stories, man. When I like you don't hear a lot, but me and Cat, but that was also just me and Cat just vibing, spending so much time together, intimate time as far as just getting to know each other at that age.
That was so funny, dog. I was like, yo, dog, you got to get out of my car if you're gonna be doing stupid shit like that. I'm like, wait, what you talking about? He's like, dog, you're skilled, bro. You need to chill out with all this other basic goofy shit. So I'm like, all right, come on, man. No, listen, you cannot get in my car. You cannot hang with me if you're gonna do dumb shit. And he's like, and Cat, you're not good at it. I'm like, I guess I'm not, huh? And he did dodge me, didn't he? He dodged the shit out of me.
So it's one of those things, Fats, where we just, again, starting to recognize at an early age. And we talk about these young kids today, and it's a different world for them. And we always address the NIL, youth sports, college, and how it's changed. But I can give the credit of our upbringing and just the Sonny Hills and the John Arnett's and the Cal Lewis's and all these guys, man, that really helped us identify what we can be in life. And that was one of them instances.
But how did y'all two get so intertwined? I mean, me as a young kid from Philly, it seemed like Alvin Williams, Cuttino Mobley. It seemed like y'all was side by side on y'all journey to the NBA, and it seemed like a brotherhood, like y'all was brothers, y'all was related. How did that come about, and how do y'all stick together like that? How did that happen?
You know, for me, I'm gonna answer this one real quick, Al. Sometimes, and I'm gonna get a little deep real quick, guys. I was talking to Kamal about this morning. I said one thing I pray for. I'm not a religious person, more spiritual, but one thing I do pray for is that the souls that I love a lot right now on earth, as you see my body, Cuttino Mobley, I hope I meet those souls in my next life, right? So I think it's a movie called Cloud Atlas with Halle Berry, Tom Hanks, a lot of different people. And in that movie, there was different phases of existence where in like say 1400s, those souls met. And then again in the 1800s, but there were different formats. And I think it's not something that I can say, oh, it was just this time. It was just, to me, it just happened. I loved Al's game. You know what I mean? I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be like everybody else that was around us. Al was competitive. He was a big guard. So for me, I don't really know. It's like, oh yeah, I love this guy. I was just, you know what I mean? The spirits connected to me. And it just, we stuck together. We always, I thought he was funny as hell, right? You know, Al was the rude one and I wasn't. I was the nice one, right? But I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it was funny to me how Al would interact and the things he would do, but then Al work ethic was insane. So like Al was saying, I always give Al shout outs when I'm on TV because even when they talk about Alvin Williams, I'm like, me and Al argue about this to this day about his aggressiveness and how talented he was. I always saw something in Al, right? That, I always try I push it out of him or speak to him about even traveling the world. I remember we were younger. I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm chilling at the crib. I'm like, yo, Al, come on, man. So much of this world. Let's go check it out, dog. It was like things like that. So it was like, it's the kindred spirit kind of thing, Fats, that I can't explain. It's just, that's how it came together. But I don't know how Al saw it. That's how I saw it. It's like, I can't get disconnected from this spirit.
Yeah. I mean, you was right. You took it deep, but I think
to people out there, that what he just said, that was a jab. That was a joke jab, pretty much.
No.
That was a joke jab.
The old me. But no, but it's so we met. I'm gonna tell you, we met at the Pizza Hut 3-on-3 hoop it up joint at Franklin Mills Mall. It was myself, Sheed, Ty Weeks. People have heard if they watched this in Reds. And we was playing on a team in a different division. And Cat was playing it as well. And I had some friends that played in the Catholic League, a guy by the name Sekou Wilson and Dane Preston, those guys. And they knew Cat because they played it. They went to McDevitt and they played against Cat. But he used to always talk about this kid that had long arms, could dunk and could shoot and did this. But I didn't know who Cat was. So fast forward, we playing in this tournament and it's super up. And I think she and them knew Cat. And Cat didn't have a ride home. And I ended up giving Cat a ride to my crib. And that's how we met. And we was in my back playing one-on-one. And then after that, we just stayed connected. And to like Cat's point, it was like the spirits or like our personalities. Basketball was the one thing. And I never looked, because I never knew Cat. I just heard a little bit about him. And Cat was really, we all was developing, but it was one of them things where we just really was connected. We had the same interests. One thing, we ain't had no girls. One thing, we ain't hang out. And we just became like, let's go. And I think we both helped each other in that degree. Because I'll tell you something, when we were in college, and Cat can attest to this, we would go down John Arnett's, and we see Eddie and Aaron. And for me, I told you before, I looked up to that connection, those players, although we was similar ages, but me and Cat used to see that. And I remember when Eddie and Aaron got drafted, and they used to have those parties. They had parties and throw them on the name, throw their names on the thing. And me and Cat would be riding in the car, and we was able to go, but we hear in the radio, be like, hey, come to Bahama Bay or come wherever, club, whatever. And Eddie Jones and Aaron McKee gonna be there. And whatever we was doing, we run right to the crib, get our sneaks, and go to Germantown Academy. Because we was like, while they partying, we can catch them. And that was like our mindset. So we used to go to the gym at 12 o'clock at night, about 12 to 2, and then we would start it over the next day. So we just had a connection and an idea and a belief where we wanted to go.
So me knowing both of y'all and me knowing that y'all was doing those 3 workouts a day, me personally knowing y'all was getting up, going to John's, then y'all might go to Penn, and then y'all go meet with Al and shoot again at night, whether that's Gustine or whatever location. What would y'all advise a young kid, like the work I seen y'all both put in, where that come from, and what would y'all advise with that? How did that come about?
So I love this question. My thing is, if it wasn't for Al, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
Solid.
For the simple fact that Al, I had an amazing family too, but the structure Al came from when it came to sports. Al, if it was someone else and I was with someone else and I've never met Al, they'd be like, yo, let's go down here to Eddie and Aaron's thing. We would have went. Right? Al was like, yo, let's get shots up. I do that to this day with my son, Miles. If he wants to go with his friends for like, the Friday night lights, football, and it's big here in California, he'll say to me now, yo, Dad, can we get shots up before I go to the game? Right? You got to get your work in. Right? Or guess what? Every morning we shoot at 5:45 before he goes to school. I got that from Al. That's not something, I didn't come from a basketball family. Even though my mom played ball when she was younger, I didn't come from a basketball family. What I found out is a documentary out about the best women's team in Philadelphia history. We just found this out within this last year that my mom was a starting point guard for undefeated women's football team, and she got pregnant with me and had to quit basketball. A basketball team. I had to quit basketball. I did not know that. They were looking for my mom for years to put her in a documentary. So the documentary comes out, I see it, and I see Jackie Mobley, and I see her sitting on all of them with this picture of the team. I see that, and I'm like, wow. So she had that work ethic in her as well. But then again, like I said, kindred spirits, the souls match. And when I would say to the younger people, just to go back to that question, find someone like minds. Find someone that's going to push you, that's going to irritate your comfort zone, right? And be able to push you through that phase where now, when you're away from that person, kind of like a parent, when you're away from that person, those values and those skills stay with you. You know what I mean? Well, Miles and my daughter, as the youngest ones, they are a part of Al's, I guess you would say, kind of thing.
No, it's interesting because our connection, even you mentioned Sam and Miles and even Tino being the ring bearer at my wedding, and I'll send him pictures, you know what I mean? This was you when you was about 4 or 5, I don't even remember how old he was, and then my niece, Nia was in there as the
What
flower.
what year did you get
Sorry.
married?
Oh,
No, I'm saying what
03.
year was it? No,
I
03.
goddamn.
No, I'm saying,
03.
but he was so he was 3 years old because Tino was born in 2000. Yep.
The same way we was connected, because I'll be flat out, there's not a person, not too many people in this world that mean more to me than Cat does.
Right.
From just everything we've experienced, ups, downs, crying, draft. We can get into all those stories as well, because so many stories. But it's also how we so connected, and the Cuttino that you see today has evolved into a place where it was hard for me to accept. It was hard for me to accept him not coming home after the season. It was hard for me to accept that I wasn't the first person he called when he came home, or I bump into somebody, yo, I saw a Cat last night. Fuck you see Cat at? He home? Like, it was hard for me. The Cat was growing into another not another person, but another phase of his life where he's experienced things. Like he would say, let's go travel. Nah, dog, I'm away. When I come home, I'm gonna be with my family and I'm gonna work out. That was me, like, not really accepting that. But late now in life, I'm traveling. I want to travel. But at that time, when Cat was doing those things, I always thought it was something that I wasn't supposed to be doing yet. I wasn't supposed to be doing it. It wasn't until I took marriage counseling, and I would talk to my therapist a bit about me and Cat's relationship. And it was a point where she was like, you know what? You're in your 30s now, and the stuff that you were supposed to be doing in your 20s when you're young, you want to do them now.
Right.
Because you didn't do it when you was 20. So a lot of those came back to me and Cat's dynamic. Me and Cat's grew up. We slept in the same bed, slept on the couch, slept on the floor, spent the days together. And then when he got drafted and I was drafted, it was a separation degree because he was evolving. And I wasn't really evolving like that. So it was one of those things where we still stay connected, because the biggest part of it is not a person more important, or not too many people more important in my life than Cat. So I really value, and I always watch from afar how Cat evolved as a person. But again, as a youngster, it was hard to me to understand what that was.
Not to not to get too sentimental, but because I love both of you so much. When we were younger, became successful at what we built, right? Us three on this pod built, and then I can't share it with the individuals outside of our city, like how I want to share it and learn how I want to learn. I felt it's kind of like when you have your significant other and they don't want to travel with you. They don't want to go here with you. So you're like, well, I gotta get out of this. I gotta go do this. But you still miss them because you want them to experience what you're experiencing. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, like Al was saying, I was like, well, when I come back, I'm like, all right, in your brain, when someone say Al said, yo, listen, I got family, and he didn't mean it purposely like that. He has to go. And me at being a young age, I'm still thinking we're children and we need to go and do X, Y, and Z. Al has obligations. You got a wife, you have mom, dad, you got sisters, that's your core. I'm here, I'm cool, but that's your core. You got to pay attention to them, right? Me, I'm like, I'm going out, I'm going to travel the world and stuff, whatever. You can't do those things that I was doing, right? Because I had to mature enough and didn't understand. Because I remember Al and I had a powwow where it was basically I wasn't being a really good friend, right? Because for me, I was so used to thinking, oh, well, he's with his family, but I'm not understanding Al's way of communicating. And I had to learn that the older I got. So now I'm more content. I'm always in the house. I'm chilling. I don't want no problems. I don't need to I travel the world twice, 3 times it, right? And I'm still going around different places, but I still enjoy who I am and how I evolve and still able to love my brothers. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know. I just that maturity for me, has grown big time. Look at my daughter. She's gonna get loud. My bad.
Well, me knowing you guys personally, I feel like at some point, Cat, your success came a lot quicker than most came. You got drafted, you performed well, you did well, and you did well in negotiating, getting the contract, and so you took off a lot quicker than most athletes because you were a second-round draft pick, and your success came quick. How did you handle that? Or speaking on what you and Alvin Mayer went through, does some of that play a part in You blew up faster than most people
I love
blow
this
up.
question. Bro, I love this question so much. Let me tell you why. Al's dad. See, when my stepfather passed away, the
Mhm.
only other oracle I had that could make sense is Al's dad
Mhm.
and Al. Those are the only two other individuals that, because Al is in the league and Al's dad has been working in a professional environment his whole life.
Mhm.
So for me, my dad wasn't polished like that, right? My
Mhm.
stepfather had passed away, who was my oracle, super intelligent individual. So I was embarrassed to go to them about every little answer. So what God gave me was Scottie Pippen. But guess what? Scottie did the same thing. Scottie was the same thing with Al. After my first year, I could figure it out by myself. So I can't keep asking them for answers. I got to figure those answers out myself. I
Mhm.
got to go with how was I structured, right? What is my foundation? What's my fundamental?
Mhm.
Right? My moral compass, my principles. What are those? And luckily, I came from really good men and in a good environment that, not saying I was some innocent kid, I wasn't, but I learned how to navigate through all the negatives and us being young and rich and you're successful and traveling and doing everything I was able to pivot and still be a good spirit, a good man at the
Mhm.
same time. So, for me, having all this is relationship based, especially when you're success. So, I again, I can't say enough about the Williams family. I can't say enough about my stepfather, my dad, but that kind of gave me that I guess that sense of calm and chaos while I'm going through it because I wanted to call Al or his dad or my stepfather, and I didn't want to. Sometimes you go through life, you don't want to bother other people, so you struggle by yourself.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that's how I was going. Even though it looked, oh, you got billboards, oh, it's commercial, Nike, oh, you doing this, oh, you dating this and you doing that. It's like I'm still lonely inside. I think I said that to Al. Did I say that to you one day, Weezen? I said, bro, everybody love me in LA. Oh, we all here. I was with me. And I said, I be feeling lonely as shit in a crowded room, dude. And I didn't know how to compartmentalize that, Fats.
Mhm.
And a lot of us and successful. And a lot of us are like that, even when you don't have a lot of money or whatever it is. So I didn't really know how to really process it at that time. You understand what I'm saying? But luckily I had all of y'all and Kamal and Kaida and Williams, and I had all these cats that my stepfather was gone, but I still had my brothers that make sense. You know what I mean? Like it helps me understand that life makes sense now.
You say that, and I remember one instance that when I was staying with you near the end of
Mhm.
my career, at the end of my career, and that's a funny story too. When I got my 10-day with y'all, the Clippers,
That was my
and
fault. That was my fault.
I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I think it's a wrap. The business of basketball is starting to take over. I'm not getting opportunities. I'm not getting a call back. So let me just, you know what I mean? Let me fall back from trying to get back into the NBA. And I was staying with you. I was staying at the Beverly Wilshire,
Mhm.
and you live right close by. You was like, yo, dog, stop spending your money, man. Like you can stay over here. And so I stayed over there. I noticed you had a lot of people around, whether
Mhm.
it's a chef, whether it's
Yeah.
whether your
Everybody. Yes, a lot.
everybody was around, and we would be there, and we'd be down there eating, watching TV, and I don't know these people, and if anybody know me, y'all do. I don't really be around people I don't know. Like I'm not comfortable around people. Like now I'm more open and stuff like that. Before I wasn't, and I'm around these people, and I'm looking around. Cat's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I would go upstairs, he in his room by himself, watching TV, taking a nap. So over time, I'm like, oh, he's getting a rest, whether it's before the game, but then I'm looking like, yo, there's all these people around. And to your point, what you were saying, maybe that's what it was. Still feeling empty. The love was there. The situation was there. But I'm like, nah, man, this ain't right. So Kat and I would have more and more conversations. Me just not asking directly about what's going on in the environment, but just making sure I could have at least 5 or 10 minutes to see if my brother was all right. The conversation, the body language, the emotions, all that stuff, we were so connected. I would know when something ain't right. So
Yeah.
all I needed to do was 5 or 10 minutes, go check on him, see if he was really tired, see if he was tired of people, see if he wanted to escape anything. So again, when you talk about having all of the access and all of the things, in fact, me and you talk about it so much. people go and make all these decisions to get a bottom dollar or make it to the NBA. But if they really gave up their true happiness, would it be something they're willing to sacrifice for the rest of their life or for that moment? Because there's a lot you got to give up. There's a lot you got to go through to get to that point. And a lot of people see it one way, but there's a lot of commitment. There's a lot of things you got to separate yourself from. There's a lot of change that a lot of people are not going to be willing to do, especially later in life.
And it's to piggyback that, there's a tale where it's, I will give you $5 million, but you can't live after this day, right? And that it's kind of, as extreme as that may sound, it's kind of like that, right? So what would you rather, right? Do you want peace, right? Because see, happiness to me it's very busy, but peace, I'm at peace with life. I got y'all too. Fats Evolve, because Fats was crazy. Fats Evolve, Kamal, Kaida. I got all of y'all where you listen, I want to be here the next 50 years with all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is peaceful, right? Being happy is like a child. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to be happy. It's like, what does that mean? I just want peace, right? And peace is choice. Peace is choice. No matter what's bad or good, you know what I'm saying? You stand kind of level-headed. And I think I've matured, and all of us has matured into a way where it's okay, right? And then guess the great Tom Hanks, I would say, is this too shall pass, right? Whatever it is going on in life, and whether it's good or bad, just understand and just be peaceful.
So on that note, both of y'all now in the NBA, right? How much joy must that have been, and how many times did y'all compete against each other? But how happy y'all have been for each other that Al had made it pro. He's a starting guard. Cuttino is a starting shooting guard. Y'all both Philly guys. Y'all homeboys. Y'all hang out. That got to be crazy for both of y'all, man. Give me some of that.
Listen, I was sitting on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't tell me. I don't know how Al felt, but you couldn't tell me shit when I'm walking down the street with Al. You feel me? And then I remember one time, dog, I was so crazy. Fat. I remember one time we played them, and they had Butch Carter, right? Butch Carter was the coach. I don't care. Al ain't got to say that. I'm saying it. Butch Carter was the coach. I was so mad at Butch, right? I'm so mad because I listen, I love, you can't tell me nothing about it. I sucker punch niggas, especially back in the day. We talking about Al. So we playing, and I'm frying them. I'm frying their ass, right? And I yell over to coach?
I'm going to keep busting y'all ass until you put my brother in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the bench because I wasn't getting no time. I wasn't getting much time, whatever, right? So we got Vince, Mac, T Mac, like they was balling, and Cat was going to work. And when I see him and Steve, man, clearing out, dog. And was this your rookie year? This is second year.
First or second year, whatever it was.
Yeah,
But
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was your second year, and everybody know around the NBA, video games around the world, Steve and Cat was a problem, dog.
Definitely.
Then you put Moochie in that joint, and then that was and one.
It was
isolation.
Year,
yeah, it was crazy. Year. And they going, your turn, you get him, my turn, and it was going crazy. So Cat going crazy, dog. He going crazy, and I'm on the bench just watching, right? But I'm tickled inside. Because I see it, and Cat come by, he look at me. And I look at him, we like smile or something. Then he come by after probably like his 30th point. I'm going to keep busting y'all ass until you put my brother in. Then he run down the bench. Fuck's wrong with y'all? Not playing my brother. Every time. I'm like, yo, Cat, you ain't helping me right now, dog. You scared me.
That's funny. Al did say that to me. Yo, Cat, you not helping, Cat. Cat, you not helping me. I'm like, yo, fuck that nigga. I was so mad. At that time, I was really raw North Philly. I was so North Philly, it was crazy. I was out of control, dog. You can't, what Rick James say? Shouldn't have gave you niggas no money. I'm telling you, I was crazy back then, man.
Yeah.
I wore my emotions on my sleeve, crazy.
So, Cuttino, you played with some veterans, man, and you played with Barkley, you played with Hakeem, you played with Drexler. If you took anything from them guys as far as work ethic or the way they conducted themselves, could you share any of that with our audience, man?
Yeah, so I didn't play with Clyde. Clyde actually coached me in the Big Three my first
Oh,
year.
okay,
Clyde's
okay,
amazing.
okay.
But I did play with Scottie Pippen, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon. And then what I got from all three of them, and this is no knock on none of them, because everything was amazing, and it was my journey to take from. I put it this way, in my journey, it was my lesson to take from them what God gave me, to look for. Right. So for Scottie Pippen, it was his preparation. Right, 6 rings, and you still early in the morning lifting and shooting and things like that, watching film, studying. Right. And he kept me in the gym. He kind of did what Al did. Yo, get your ass up. Come on, let's go to the gym, work out, all those things. I think Hakeem Olajuwon was just how he was as just a human being. He was studying Aramaic. He was, he was on a plane, writing it. He was, you could see on his earphones, he was listening to it. He was trying to perfect as a human being, his craft, and as far as just forget basketball, but just that life,
Mhm,
the way he
mhm,
dressed,
mhm,
always told me, listen, the way you dress, you represent, you telling people who you are. He used to say things like that. And, when you're young, 23 years old, you're like, man, I ain't trying to hear this shit. But you listening to him. And I used to sit with him for a minute.
mhm,
On the plane, I used to literally sit right next to him on the plane and just listen and watch him. I just watch.
mhm,
And he taught me just the patience of evolving as a human being. But then you go to Charles, and Charles was full of life, right?
mhm,
He didn't work on his body. Charles, super brilliant in playing the game of basketball, taught me so much. Super sweet person too. But it was like, okay, this is what you don't do when it comes to how because he's gifted. He can be overweight and still do what he's doing and not play
mhm,
the game of not practice game of basketball and still go out there and get 40 and 20. You can't do that. You need work ethic,
mhm,
right? So from Scotty's personality to Charles's personality to Akeem's personality helped me become a better pro faster,
mhm,
right? It kind of boop, it gave me that little, that little push where the learning curve wasn't as traumatizing.
mhm,
You're the second person we've had on our platform. Tim Thomas also praised Scottie Pippen for helping him when he was a little bit out of it, when he was going through a transition and trying to figure out his next step. And he said vets like Scottie Pippen really helped him get to that point or get past that point. And I've heard you a lot talk about Scottie Pippen and the influence and those things. I would tell you the story. I got a chance to play with Akeem Olajuwon as well. Probably his last year as he came to Toronto. And, you know, Akeem tried to introduce me to Islam.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did that to me. He did that to me.
hey, he thought that I was interested. I'm over this joint singing every Beanie Siegel State Property, Philadelphia. We heavy Muslims over here. I'm over here, Astaghfirullah, Aki, Assalamu Alaikum, my deans. I'm singing every Beanie Siegel, and he's hearing that. He's like, hey, like, you really pay a lot of attention. It seems they got interest. Come over to the crib. I was like, nah, man, I'm just rapping these Beanie Siegel, dog. I just love Siegel. But we had Mamadou Njai. He and Mamadou Njai used to spend a lot of time together. But yeah, he tried to bring me home. He tried to bring me along, but I had
Yeah,
to
he
tell
tried
I
to
had to
bring me
tell
along.
I had to tell a dream. No, this Siegel right here, fam. I just love state property right now, dog. He's like, who? I was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the OG. But it's important to have those vets. Do you remember the time, Cat? It was the lockout year, and that's another phase because people don't realize. And I go all. It's so much shit, Fats, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but it's
No, we can.
patience.
No, we can definitely. Yeah, I want to be able to do a part 2 also, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's patience, and we got to do it in person as well.
Yeah,
Because I want to go around this city and show the things that we was doing in the city,
that'd be
especially you starting
beautiful.
in North Philly and
Yeah,
16th Street. That's when you and Cat Fat, you came back and was like, yo, man, you gotta go see your cousin, dog. We down to
yeah. How
16th Street.
about that?
We was monkey dunking that thing. Like both of us, we left-handed. Da, 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 da. Like y'all two are really the reason why I really start pouring in the Cat. I mean, in the Fats more and more because of you,
That's
Cat. So
crazy.
but it was the time where you got drafted, and we went over to we went over to another house and watched it. Just me and you. Your whole family was over there, and it
Hmm.
was the year before. It was me crying and
Hmm.
in the bad not getting drafted. Same
Yeah.
thing. Fast forward, same thing. Cat, and I go over there. I'm hanging with you. We sitting in the dark. You get drafted. You run home. Everybody there, your cousin fall down the steps, hit the last step, twist the ankle all up. We all all celebrate. Before that, Fats, everybody goes to Chicago camp.
Mhm.
If
Wait,
you're
but
gonna
real
get
quick,
drafted,
Al, real quick. We went over to who house? Tiffany's?
Tiff's house.
Yeah,
Went over to Tiff's house. Went
shout
to
out to
Tiff's
Tino's
house.
mom. It's my baby Tiff. Yeah.
Yep, went over to Tiff's house, and we were just watching over. It was just me and you over there watching the draft. And I could help you through it because I went through it. You went 40. You went earlier than me. I went 48th. You went 41. But prior to that whole process, you go to the teams and work out. You get your workouts in. Then it is, and then you get, all right, if you get selected to go to the pre-draft camp in Chicago. Cat didn't get selected. So back then, it's like dreams is over. If you don't get a chance to go to the pre-draft camp where all the scouts, all the GMs, all the execs, all the coaches is there to show what you can do, might as well cancel Christmas. And that's one of the things I always stay true because me and Cat, we had that Grand Cherokee. We'd be sitting in that or Doe's Honda and just constantly talking. Cat is going to be all right. Cat, and I remember sharing too. We crying in the seat. We did this. Why they ain't doing this right? And then the draft came. And then again, it all started over again. But the patience, just the intestinal fortitude, dog, and just the ups and downs that you go and you talk about anything that Cat could advise a kid or a family. It's so many experiences that Cat and we both went through that a kid is going to go through. But it takes the perseverance, it takes the patience, it takes all those things. But it wasn't easy. It was not easy for Cat getting to the NBA. And to your point, Fats, it came once he got in there. You knew the work ethic, you knew the game, and Cat's the biggest thing with Cat is two things I know that changed for him: his confidence and his strength, physical strength.
Physical.
He just got Cat. It was a problem after a while, right? And then after that, fourth, fifth year, where to me, we always go back and forth. We might even have a discussion here. You became a better player when the early on shit, the clear out, the talking. He became a better player because the third thing came was the maturity. He became such a mature person on and off the court where his game and his value went way, went out the roof.
Yeah. That's an amazing point. I said this not too long ago when we were doing NBA TV. I said if I was in my last 4 years, if my mentality was like that when I first came to the league, I would have had better accolades as an NBA player because I knew how to score, when to score, time possession. I just knew how to affect the game in so many different ways where I wasn't really worried because I understood the flow of game. Because me scoring on, I don't care how tall you are, or how fast you think you are. Scoring was easy, but playing the game as a whole and trying to be a winner, that's what is a special thing that a lot of people that even in the Hall of Fame, a lot of people don't actually have. I'm telling you guys, they don't really know how to win.
Sure.
They just know how to be talented. See, talent is different from being a winner, right? So, that's what I learned in my last 4 years, I guess 5 years of playing basketball in the NBA of why I'm doing what I'm doing, right? And why it makes sense of the flow of the game. I understood, like I started actually thinking more like Al, where okay, if C Webb is this and Page's this and Mike Bibby's this and this person, Elton Brand's this and Corey Maggetti's this and I need to get Sam Miss and Charlotte Miss. I used to think for everything now, right? I wasn't so aggressive kind of thing. And it took me a while to understand that. But the game was a lot more fun for me once I did that because it was so much to the game after that, right? It was not saying I didn't do those things before, but the meaning behind them was a lot more bold.
Well, Cat, you had some playoff experience. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan of yours. You're the left-handed bandit. You can score on anybody, man. If you don't mind me talking to you about you going against Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant with you and Francis, I think the whole city was excited that you had the opportunity. Everybody was backing you. If you want to share some of that experience with our audience, what was that like, man? Because I was rooting for you in that playoff series for sure, man.
And so we matched up with them so many times. We did 9 times 1 year. We just couldn't get over the Lakers, right? Like even if we make the playoffs, we 8 seed, they 1 seed, they popping. They getting us out of there. But and going back to the mentality and the mental the mental, I guess, capacity of it. Kobe was very intentional in what he was doing. You got Phil Jackson, you got Scottie Pippen, you got Brian Shaw, you got Ron Harper, you have Robert Horry, you have, Tex Winter. You have, you know what I mean? You have, what's the the black coach, Clemens?
Mm-hmm.
Clemens, you have those genius-like basketball minds to help you mature better. So when you're doing certain things, how I attack on offense and defense, it's intentional.
Mhm.
That's what made Kobe so much better than everybody else. Information, right? And then now that information, when you take it, you're really applying it, right? It's the saying of the person who can read and don't read is no different than the person who can't read, right? So once you take that information, I'm able to apply it. That makes you that much dangerous because of your character. His character sets work ethic. So I had the work ethic, right? But I didn't have as much information.
Information, right?
So
I'm with
then
you.
now, and then you're battle tested. You've been in more playoffs where you failed in 3 air balls in a row and you know how to adjust throughout the summer. I wish I had that, Steve and I had that much more information and that much more time because our skill set was there. So, but playing against Shaq and Kobe and Phil and Rick Fox and all those guys, it was a battle in itself. It was very draining mentally because of when you're young like that, your nervous system, first it gets you so hyped. And you don't know how to calm down. Phil had those dudes meditating and yoga. We didn't do that back then. They were doing that, calming their brain down. So if you can learn all those things, I think it would have been a better situation for us, just in whole, it's all of us, right? Like going through our basketball career, but playing against Shaq. Listen, you can't stop Shaq. You can forget that one. I don't care what nobody say. He's the most dominant center ever to me. I don't know nobody. I see the Wilt with the old dropping it in there, and I see the Kareem with the baby hook. Ain't nobody messing with that boy Shaq. You can't. And then Kobe, he was so skilled that even if you tried to double Kobe, then who gonna go get Shaq? So it was the weirdest thing because Kobe was such an assassin. He was like Denzel Washington meets, I don't know, John Wick all in one when he's coming to play you. It's like he kept coming at you. So it was so hard to beat them, especially with lack of information, lack of preparation, like those type of things where there's so many steps ahead of you. It doesn't matter. You may get lucky, but it's hard to beat that duo was, to me, incredible. Incredible, man.
Yeah, they were a problem. They were a problem. And you saw, like you said, 9 times, and then you stayed on you never played on one time with Orlando with a short stint, but you was always on the West Coast, so you always had to bump into those guys, man. So
Always.
it
They
was
always
battles.
messed up my dreams. making my summers quick. My summers. Come on, summer. You right around the corner. Next week. Okay, yeah. Next week.
Yeah, I know we ain't gonna hold him more than an hour, but we got to talk about this Rick Brunson story because we heard about it from Rick's side over here, where we heard
Wait, what I do?
we heard that one left-handed took advantage of another left-handed, and then another lefth-handed took advantage of another left-handed. So apparently he shut out Ricky Sanchez. Oh, Pappy Sanchez. Pepe Sanchez. And then y'all went down to McGonigal and clearly you done something to Rick. I don't know if you want to tell our audience about this story, man.
I don't know what I did. Al,
talk to him, Al. Talk to him, Al.
I love Rick. I don't know. I plead the fifth.
Talk to him, Al. What happened down there?
You remember we were down Palestra with John Arnett's workouts, and we used to do this workout. Jump shots, all games, all jump shots. And then you had to transition into, you had no dribbles. You had no dribbles, right? Then you would do all jump shots. Then you would put everything. You got 1 or 2 dribbles. So it just build up to like playing the overall game. So we would do that full court. We'd do that half court. So one day, mentioned it again, I feel like a broken record. He killed Pepe Sanchez. Like, I think the games was going to 9 and we playing that, and he scored 9 straight against Pepe Sanchez or something like that. And then Rick talking his shit. Rick was the asshole. But we go after that, Eddie, Aaron, Rick, Cat, myself, and it was one other person who's playing 3-on-3. And when I say the exact same thing happened to Rick from Cat, but we wasn't playing all jump shots. It was isolations, post-ups,
Okay.
and Eddie and Aaron killing Rick. Rick grabbed his bag. I'm out, man. We playing ball or what we doing? Like, da-da-da-da. But Cat just sitting there like, no, fam, keep playing. But it was one of them things, same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. But that's just one of the infamous stories of Cat, man. Like, yeah.
I'm like,
But
yeah,
that
I'm
was-
busting your ass, but I'm saying, keep playing, dog. You gonna be all right.
Yeah,
You gonna be all right, you gonna be, but you gonna be all right. You gonna be all right.
Everything's gonna be all right. But it was because Rick could do the same thing. Those days of John Arnett workouts, which it was always funny because everybody, whoever know John and know Philly basketball, know Cat, know our relationship, Cat wasn't allowed to work out. I used to be with Cat all day, every day. And when those night workouts, Friday night workouts, I'm like, all right, Cat, I gotta roll. Where you going? I ain't even want to tell him. I'm like, then I finally like, yo, I'm going down John Arnett's. They got these workouts. Hey, yo, ask John if I can come. All right, no doubt. John, Cat want to come down. No, he can't come down here. He can't come down here. And I'm like, what? He can't come down. He crazy. That crazy MF can't come down here. He not coming down here. So Cat, he not letting you down here. Month go by. Cat, yo, can I come? Ask John. No, he can't. So John finally said, you can bring him down here, but if he acts out, because Cat used to throw the ball, foul people hard, pass out on the floor, nobody playing court, nobody playing. If I ain't playing, John was like, if he comes down here and do one thing out of pocket, you can't come down here no more. So I remember the whole time me and Cat driving. Hey, yo, Cat, hey, Fang, don't come down here doing none of this silly shit, dog. Like, so we used to always have to talk. And Cat would lose it sometimes, and I'd run over to Cat. Yo, chill, Cat. Come on, Cat, chill. Cat would take a little break, walk outside, come back in, and all that. But that was those times, man, where when you talk about the evolution of Cuttino Mobley, now you're hearing some of his answers, some of his responses. That wasn't the same Cat, but that wasn't the same Cat that
That
we
is
know.
so true. That's so true, dog. I was an asshole, man. I was an idiot kid. I'm telling you, man. I was an idiot kid.
But Cat, with that said, and not to, you was a good person. And I think with all those, with me and my family and what my parents saw and my sisters, Cat was a good person, a pure person, an honest person, a genuine person. Crazy, raw, whatever. We all was kids. We had our hiccups and all that. But as a person, and Cat is also somebody that loves hard. Like once you in that circle, he'll love hard. He'll pour all into you. But the one thing about Cat, you only got 1 or 2 times to make. Once you got 1 or 2 times, you're dead to him. You're dead to him, and you ain't. But it takes a lot to get to that point. But that's the thing. But one thing before we let you go, I want to, and we're gonna do another part of this too, because I want to talk about, it was life threatening. It was very scary for me when your career had to come to an abrupt halt as far as the NBA.
Yeah.
And explain that if the audience don't know why, how, all those things. What was your experience? Because I was there with you. I made it a purpose. I was intentional to be there with you every step of the way, from examinations, meeting you in Minnesota, all of those things, the Mayo Clinic, all those things. What was that for you going through that?
Yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough because it's something I couldn't control, right? The only thing I could control was how I respond from it. And it took me a while to understand that. But when, this is even for young hoopers and young people just in general. When life throws you a curve, right? Sometimes you got to understand to be patient for the next pitch, right? For me, when I found that out that you couldn't play no more, first it started where you can't play no more basketball, right? I got sent to the New York Knicks. And the crazy thing is
can you tell the diagnosis?
Yes, it's called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. So the acronym is HCM, and which is it's a heart disease where the walls of your heart they're thick, and the blood. So if the walls are like this. Usually, a regular person's walls are like that. So see that the gap, it's more room for the blood to flow through to get to the brain, to let the brain know that you're still active. So the walls of my heart were thicker. So it would the blood. Now I'm asymptomatic. So for people out there who don't know, there was no symptoms. I had no symptoms, but my EKG was showing up weird, and all the other stuff was showing up kind of on a treadmill a little weird. But I already knew this, right? I knew this since I first came into the NBA. Again, 12 years in the NBA, 40 minutes a game I averaged. And that's unheard of. Your guys averaging that many minutes, right? I mean, I had 1 year where I was 42 minutes. So when this news hit me, I was in denial. Like, you crazy? You tripping? There ain't nothing wrong with me. So I remember Al and I were sitting there, and a doctor in Minnesota was talking to me, and he was like, like a cliff, you just fall off the cliff or something, and it scared Al. It didn't actually scare me. It scared Al. And Al was like, yo, Cat, come on, dog. You can't do this, dog. People need you. Basketball ain't that serious. Like, he was saying all those things.
Mhm.
So I got depressed. I literally got depressed. Like, Al was always checking on me, when we came back home, because he's in Philly now and I'm in LA with, basically nothing to do. Right.
Mhm.
And you take my career from me. And my last game was, I think, November 18th or 19th for 2008. I had 27 on KD and them. So I'm starting to gig. It's the beginning of the season. I'm starting to gig because I had a really good summer of workout. We get to Philadelphia the next day, and we're supposed to play the Sixers, and I get traded to New York. So I
Mhm.
can't play the Philadelphia game. So we go to New York. Then the doctors in New York, we do the whole physical, the whole thing, and it looks a little weird. I'll take you to Boston. So I go to Boston, physicals and everything like that. It just so happened you can't play. So I'm like, wait, what? So I'm thinking, maybe you got to clear these things up. I'm trying to process all this. But a part of me is saying, what are you going to do after this?
Mhm.
So I was a little sad. I was sad because I wasn't ready to retire,
Mhm.
right? And I'm only, listen, truthfully, I'm actually 11 years, but that 12th year I had to retire. But, it's only 11 years in. I had some more years with me because I had a strong body. I didn't, I wasn't like I got injured a lot, right? And then the older I got, if especially, the nightlife, you leaving the nightlife alone, that gives you more years also, right? And
Mhm.
then I was playing a lot of minutes at my age too. At my age, 40 minutes a game, 32 years old, like, you should be down to the, 30s, or, 28, 29 minutes, more efficient kind of thing.
Mhm. Mhm.
But, Al would check on me and I would act like I'm okay. That's another thing, right? In denial. And, it was moments of depression, but then I snapped out of it and I started to jog and run more and things like that. And come to find out, it was a misdiagnosis, but that was almost 2 years later, right? So you can't get back into the league now. You can forget
Mhm.
about it. But again,
Mhm.
it tested who I am as a human being, right? Or I guess a spiritual entity. So,
Mhm.
I did American Heart Association. I went and talked to people, and I did all these things to help people but a part of me was lost, right? Where they kind of stole. Paul Pierce, you won your championship in '08, and Dirk, you won yours in '11, and Vince, you did this, and these guys, and all my guys at that time, I'm competing with, and I'm loving what they're doing, but I'm competing to let me get on the team because, like Al said, the older I got, the more mature I got in the game of basketball, where I would have been a great star in my role on a really good team because I knew how
Mhm.
to play the game of basketball.
Mhm.
So I think that was taken from me, where I could have won a championship somewhere else, and been an intricate part of another team, and that got stolen from me. So but again, I've already had my amazing son Tino, who's 25, but then I got amazing kids, Miles and Sam. My
Mhm.
son Miles and my daughter Sam. Where if I would have if that never happened, I wouldn't have had them.
Right.
So the silver lining and the growth of that, and if that would have never happened, would I be as mature as a being? I don't know, right? But it did shock me for a minute, and I had to take a step back and really understand why God gave me this lesson to learn. But again, like I said, you have the Alvin Williams and the Kamal Yards and the Kaidas of the world that was always there, a phone call away for me, even though I was very prideful and trying to figure out how do I get through this without asking mommy and daddy for help all the time.
I thought it was important from my perspective, be there for you as much as I could, as much as you allow me. Because prior to that, I went through something similar, not from the health standpoint, but from my career. Knee,
Mhm.
doctor telling me I couldn't play anymore, or I shouldn't play, or whatever the case may be. But more of the business side, and I still believe you were caught up in the business side as well. You remember those? That was the time of the LeBron James sweepstakes, and everybody's
Yes.
trying to clear cap room and
Mhm.
compromising and sacrificing people's career, which is a whole nother thing. Fats and I always talk about the franchise, and they don't get these teams, and they don't get a lot of the flack when how they treat athletes and not really considering their life and not considering their career and everything they've worked to get to this point. When it's time for them to make a decision, no matter what, it's just business, and we can move on from there. It's just business, and don't take it personal. But when a player does something, you know what I mean, to empower their career or enhance their career or however they see it, they're looking behind about not being loyal or selfish or whatever. So the narrative is off base. But knowing you going through that and me going through something similar before and not having a lot of people that truly understood what you were going through, I thought it was critical for me because I didn't want you to be lonely. I felt lonely at times, you know, when I was going there. Your friends and family, but they're there, but they don't really know what you're going through, like 100%, because you're not going to share everything with them. So, like I said, it was critical, and it was very important for me to be there at those doctor meetings and those things. Me, you, and Mom together, Miss Jackie, and all of those things. Just be there for you, call and check on you. So that was my role. And again, like I said, it's not a person. It's not too many people more important to me in this world than you are. So I had to be there for you. So it was one of those things that it was critical, but it puts you in a different place, man. You grew so much from that experience, man, that, you know, again, it's a silver lining with everything.
Yeah, man. Listen. I appreciate. I love y'all, man. And God brings you people in your life for a reason to improve, to evolve, right? And to be the best version of yourself. Uh, I don't know why. Uh, I don't know why he let things happen, but you know, it's not for me to try to solve that. It's for me to just like learn from him. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, Tino, we don't want to take up too much of your time, man. I know you said you got an appointment you got to be at. Hopefully, we could get a second part of this with you in person.
Yeah,
That
let's
that
do
would
it.
be love.
No.
I
We
got a
need we
question.
need to get a second part now, Fats. Like we need to schedule a second part before we put this out and have a second part to it. Make sure, Kat, you have your flannel shirt and your glasses so they know it's the same thing. You know what I
It's
mean? Make
cold
sure
here,
everything.
dog.
I'm making sure.
It's cold, dog. It's
No,
cold.
no, let's revisit, man. It's a pleasure to have you. You know, we got nothing but love for you over here at Check Game. Let's set up the next appointment. And Kat, I gotta ask if you could get on the sports show with us when you get some time. That's the only request I got from my side. We do a sports show on Sundays. Hopefully, one Sunday you can stop by and give us 5 minutes of your time.
No, for sure. Hey, Al, did I